Hi everyone. So basically the other video got blocked because I was playing music and the copyright issues, etc. I'm not sure if it's going to be allowed to be played again, but basically what I've done so far is make this, which you started off like this. I can make, if the other one's not going to be allowed to be played, then I can make another one just to show how to make this. But at this point what I've done is just used this needle to join together this the edges so I can make it into the hat. Ooh. It's very annoying that it doesn't let me play music. What will it let me do? Can I play the audiobook that I did? I mean, last time it didn't cause any issues. It's okay, I'll just do it in silence. I was just enjoying the music as well and saying that I love A.R. Rahman because he's my favorite composer. So I'm just gonna thread a bit more of the red. Bless me? No, that doesn't make sense. I'm just gonna thread a bit more of the red because I want to finish joining the red bits of this one. Just going to leave a little bit there and join the reds here. And I was also saying that, you know, it's better to join the reds together and the other like keep the color separate so that it doesn't look weird. Because I made that mistake with the first one and then I was annoyed because it didn't look good, very nice with the green peeking through the red, and I had to like work hard to hide that. So this time making sure to use this, you know, just use red for the red bit and then come back for the green bit. Yeah, just tie this together. And also I was saying don't worry too much about the bits that are left over because it's all going to be incorporated into the design, into the hat once I'm done. So it won't show. Okay, let me do the white next. What am I doing? There's a little bit left because I don't want to waste that. Alright, we've got a lot of white to cover. Let's go. So I'm just going to pull the white, which is inside, out, because I want to use it to tie together the loose end before I cut it. I don't want it to unravel. I'm just going to tie this up and then I can cut it off. I don't know why you keep automatically pulling it that way. I think it's because when I do cross stitch, it's important to pull it, you know, because it might unravel very quickly otherwise, and then you have to spend more time to thread it through. It's also important, like, just get the hat that way so it doesn't cause issues later. I think I'm gonna just have to tie, because I don't even know where the loose end of the other end is. Can't even find it on the inside. I think it got incorporated into the stuff. No, that's not gonna work. Well, I can just tie it to the red, to be honest. It doesn't matter because it's all part of the same at this point. And again, as I said, everything's gonna go inside anyway. None of it is going to be visible. Time really flies. It's almost an hour since I started this. Alright, so I'm gonna do something. I'm just gonna show how to do the bobbles on one of them, and then I'm gonna end it, simply because I like I said, I drove 3 hours today from Wolverhampton, because we went there for the sort of evening, day, whatever, and I'm quite tired, so I'm just gonna finish this off, one of them off, show how to do the bobble, and then I'm gonna end it there because it has been 1 hour already. think I don't appreciate how long it takes when I'm just, you know, doing it when I'm doing something else, you know, like I usually do this while I'm, I don't know, watching a movie or just chilling. I usually have something else going on at the same time, or even just spending time with my family. Come on. Yeah, I can't actually believe it took an hour just to do one of these, plus the putting it together, which, you know, shouldn't take that long really. Okay. I think it's probably because I was also talking throughout. Okay, for this I'm basically, because I want this to be the top, the red to be the top, this is the edge. So what I'm going to do is just thread it through every, you know, not every single one, but one in, one out is sort of what I'm doing right now, because it doesn't really need to go more than that. And then when you get to the end, which happens very quickly here because it's such a tiny little hat, and you just put it tight, and there we go. That's pretty much how you make it tight. It's like a little drawstring, and then you tie the top off. And then I'm going to show you how to make a little bobble. I want to make a white bobble, so I'm going to cut this and tie this off. And like I said, I'll finish later. And I'm going to use this because it's quite messy to make the bobble, especially when you cut it into shape. So I don't want it to be messy everywhere. This is just a little bit of, well, it's actually the square thing that this is held together with. Before I used the post-it that I bent into shape. It's just something to hold the shape of the ball. I'm gonna make the bobble. I'm just gonna basically wind this around a few times to make the bobble. And that's probably enough, I think. So, I'm trying to remember how I did this. I think I used a needle to tie it off. Okay, I need to do that again, hold on, because it's too short. The post-it was a bit, use a little bit of card here. This is just a piece of card that we use because it needed a bit more length. I think it does need a bit more. I think that's probably enough. I'm just going purely by like intuition here, and I just have this needle and thread that I had ready before, and I'm just gonna go under and hold on, is that what I did, or did I use, yeah, I think I did use this. You just basically want to tie it together at this point. So I've got the end, and I'm just going to tie it into place, and I can slide it off the card. wanted white thread, but I didn't have white, so I'm just using grey. Technically shouldn't be visible, so it should be alright, I hope. And I'm just going to cut this end off, cut off the needle too. Actually, I might do another couple of knots to make sure it doesn't unravel on me. That'd be super annoying. I'm just going to cut, and then you basically just make it into this bobble shape, and then you cut the edges like this, so it's going to be curved. You're just going to put your scissors through and do that, and just do that all through. And then you basically just cut it into symmetrical, like more symmetrical shape, like cut it into roughly the same length. And obviously it's not perfect, but like I said, I'm not aiming for perfection here. Worried that that's not going to hold. Will it hold? Seems a bit loose. Let me see if I can just tie it with the wool before it unravels. It shouldn't be that loose, it should have been tighter. I don't know what happened. That feels more solid to me. There we go. Just cut that. And cut that. Alright, so now we have our hat, which I'm just going to snip. I'm going to put that on top. So first, I just want to incorporate all of the, hold on, just want to get this out of the way because this is technically my waste box, and I want to get the needle out of there, and I want to get this card out of there, and that card out of there too, and get that out of the way. Right, let's incorporate any loose thread. Actually, all the loose threads are on the inside right now, except maybe a little bit here, but in general it's all inside, so I think I can leave it. What I can do is get this inside, so what I'm going to do is basically go from the inside, put it through, thread it through like that, thread it, get the hook through, and then pull it through, then it disappears from there. And do the same here, sort of get it through. It's a bit short, but it's alright, it will come through. Might take a couple of tries, but it will come through. Come on. Alright, I'm just gonna shove it through that way. Oops, that kind of backfired. Okay, so it's gone in. And then I'm going to put my bobble on the top. And then I'm going to use the needle. I need to tie a knot think before I did use the wool to sort of hold this together. I didn't use the wool. I mean the thread. Okay, this is kind of annoying me a little bit, so I'm going to pull this through properly. So what you basically do is you put it through here, take some there, and do the same for the other one. Try to use like different holes because just to make sure one hole isn't inundated. Then you just keep doing that at various parts until it's all incorporated into your hat and you can't see it anymore. I try to avoid cutting as much as possible, just to avoid waste. And even the waste I try to recycle in some way. Okay, see how that's disappeared? And this is a different one that's very short, so it's a bit annoying. Let me try to hook. It's also frayed at the edges. Let me try and hook that under. I'm gonna try one more time. Yeah, that's good. And then I'm gonna go, because I went in the other direction for the other one, I'm gonna go this way for this one, because again I don't want to overcrowd the stitches. There we go. That's incorporated. And I keep knocking things down. But there we go. So now I'm going to finally attach this, which is basically just stitching it into place. I mean, I'm sure I've seen more sophisticated ways of doing it, but for this one, being so tiny, kind of sort of makes sense to do it this way, I guess. I just push it through. And just like do stitches back and forth a few times. That should be enough, I believe, to keep it in place. Just do a couple more. Make sure it doesn't fall off. Just try to keep it in the center where the knot is, so it's not just going through the empty spaces, if that makes sense. I think that's reasonably solid. I'm just going to turn it inside. Okay, I'm not going to turn it inside out, I'm just going to do that. And I'm going to come here. Just push it through one of the stitches. Make a knot by doing this. And voila. There we have a little hat. Actually, I think it could do with a bit of more tidying up. That's better. So we have 2 of these now. And I'm gonna do the same with all of the others, but I need a break now. So I'm gonna stop and I shall finish them off. It's been an hour and 15 minutes, so just want to say apologies again for, you know, it being so disjointed. The first section was kind of me showing how to make this. If it doesn't get uploaded, I will do another video at some point so you don't miss anything. And anyways, I hope you learned something. I hope you had fun. I had fun. Enjoy the rest of your day.